Hey everyone, welcome back. Bronze Dragon here, bringing you a different game on the Hive blockchain, Terracore. Now, here a while back, I started playing Golem Overlord, and whenever I started playing that, I had a number of people that were watching my videos that said, hey, you have to check out Terracore. And obviously there's so much going on in Splinterlands and Splinter Forge, and there's just so much going on that I just hadn't had time to check it out as another game. So, but this last weekend, yesterday, I was on my live stream, and the developer of Terracore stopped in and was chatting a bit. Crypto Gnome, who is the developer, said that, hey, you should check it out, do a little coverage on it. Obviously, he wants a little coverage for the game. I'm all for it, So, first off, he did provide the amount of Hive to be able to enter the game. Currently, it costs about $10 US to start in the game. So I'm upfront about that. There were no promises of a great review or whatever, so I'm going to be level. As you guys always know, I try to give balanced coverage of a game, and I haven't been quote unquote paid off or something like that. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump in. I'm on the main screen here, and I will leave links in the comments. If you, at the end of this, you feel like starting to play, use my link. Like I said, it helps me out a little bit, keeps me going a little bit. It doesn't cost you anything extra. So let's go ahead and connect. And like I was saying, trying to see. Okay, so there is audio to the webpage, so I was just making sure it wasn't coming through too loud. Okay, with that said, you're initially met with this, hey, you must claim citizenship to play, and that's where you have to pay the Hive. And as you can see, the citizenship price is 28.5 Hive, which is, I looked earlier, it's right around $10 US, so not too bad. And it says to access Terracore, you must first need to purchase a software license for citizenship. This is a one-time purchase. Creates your character, non-refundable. And then he goes on to say this game is an alpha. I think I read on the Discord that they're considering it in beta at this point. But then they give, the appropriate links for the terms of service for buying the license. So let's go ahead and buy the license. Let's see how it goes. And they note that please, during the alpha, quote unquote, and beta stages, until they consider it fully released, they can't make any guarantees about player progress. Obviously everything's in motion and everything can be changed. It's the same way as we've been encountering in Golem Overlord. And I'm sorry if I keep comparing it, but to me they seem very similar, whereas this game came out before Golem Overlord. Okay, so I purchased it and it didn't go anywhere. So let's refresh. Okay. Okay, I'm back. Had to take a brief break. I encountered the first problem, which is just on my side, is that with other games I play, I'm used to working with Hive Engine and keeping my tokens on Hive Engine and trading them back and forth. Okay, so in this game, the first thing you need to note is that you need the tokens in the Hive tokens to pay for the citizenship price in your wallet, which is on the PeakD website. It's peakd.com / at whatever your Hive account name is. /wallet. That's the first thing. So I had mistakenly put everything on Hive Engine. So I had to switch things around a little bit. So, okay, so I have my Hive tokens back in my actual Hive wallet on PeakD. So let's go ahead and try again. So that's on my, the mistake's on my part, but it's something to note if you're going to go in to play this game. So let's try again. Okay, it did the transfer. So hopefully this goes ahead. Okay, so we're on the main website here. This is the main page. This is meant to be a first look. First off, CryptoGnome sent me all the applicable links to read through, and I need to go back and read through them more in more detail, because there's a lot to it, comparatively speaking to Golem Overlord. And I like that game as well, but it seems to be more fleshed out. There are NFTs to it, and there's a lot more to it. So I have to go through and I have to read more in depth about, and I'm going to do a video once I get that done and get into playing the game more. But I wanted to take a first look at the game and see what it looks like. So some of the other websites I will be referencing, while not in depth on this video, are the Terracore Hub, which is the marketplace where you can buy and sell things related to the weapons, or weapons. I said weapons because weapons is one of the classes you can buy, you know, ships, weapons, armors, avatar, and special items. So that's briefly the terracorehub.com/market is where you can buy and sell equipment. Now, over on getbook.io, he does have a all the details about the game. It's basically a white paper, right? And I will note that the white paper looks a lot better fleshed out than a lot of games. So I will, if you're interested in the game, the first thing I would say is become a member on their Discord channel. Because one thing he did note yesterday when we were briefly chatting is that if you talk back and forth on the Discord, you can earn points. And sorry, I have to get my terminology correct. The points, okay, so the crypto we're talking about is scrap and flux. So I may be wrong, but I think you can earn scrap by talking back and forth and basically adding to the conversation on the Discord. So it's meant to encourage involvement, you know, in discussing the game and things like that. And then the secondary token we're talking about is Flux. And like I said, I still have to read, you know, and this, like I said, it does seem a lot more in detail than Golem Overlord. And sorry, I keep drawing the comparisons because they do seem kind of similar, with this one being a little bit more fleshed out at this point. So we'll take a look at it. It's a very kind of Spartan screen, just like you know, a lot of other games like this in the past. I've said this before whenever I was reviewing doing basics on Golem Overlord, is that this type of game is nothing new. Now, the interface within the blockchain is new, and all the earning and NFTs, there's a lot that goes into this, but the basic type of game, attacking and defending and stuff like that, it's been around for years. So what I will say is that let's look at the stats section. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but this has a lot more going on. Engineering. You up your engineering to produce more scrap. and he gives the basic math formula to figure each one of these. Damage is a basic stat when you're attacking others. However, there is one other stat, attacks, which works into it as well. So I'm not sure exactly how that works, although the math equation is there. But I will note just right off from the very beginning that damage and attack appear to go into, if you're doing an attack build. Obviously, defensive against people to try and make it so that they can't steal what you have. Stash size increases the amount of scrap you can hold. Mine rate is the rate of amount of scrap your character is earning per second. Is not minted in scrap on the blockchain until you claim. Okay, and every level of engineering increases your mine rate by 10%. So right off, my question is going to be mine rate and engineering appear to be the same thing. Engineering is one of the core mechanics to earning more scrap. The higher your mining power, the greater your mine rate will be, allowing you to earn scrap faster. Okay, so on a farming type build or a balanced type build, it looks like engineering and stash size obviously are going to play together, and mine rate. Okay. And obviously, with the balanced or defensive build, you're going to want to increase your defense. So, like I said, these are just straight off game kind of opinions that I've seen in the past. Until I get into the game and start playing, I can't give exact details on what I'm seeing as far as how things are functioning, right? So, another stat is luck. Luck is a key stat in exploration. So there's another type of event in this game for exploration, because they have multiple planets, which is nice, fleshing out the story, this whole story of being in space and exploring planets and attacking, defending, and stuff like that. Dodge. Obviously, it seems like this increases the chance your player can avoid an attack, which seems like it's another stat that is going to work into a defensive build. So dodge, defense, stash size, mine rate, all that's kind of like in a defensive farming build. Crit sounds like another stat that's going to work in an attack build. Okay, so crit, increase your base hit against other players in battle. And then he goes on to say the more favor you stack, the higher your lowest possible percentage base roll in battle becomes. So crit works with favor. Favor is gained by making contributions, will be used to grant access. So, and then staked. Okay, so staked scrap also serves a secondary function that is defense called toughness. The bigger your stash, the more resources. So I don't want to go too in depth on this video, but I was just kind of giving you a little bit of flavor that this isn't just like a simple one-off game, whereas you can say, oh, I'm going to attack, so I'm just going to put everything into attack. Not so much. You have to consider the balance of all of the stats, as well as I'm sure there are, after I get into it a little bit and start going back and forth on the Discord, I'm sure there are better builds than others. I'm sure there are better ways to focus your point usage than others, but that remains to be seen. This is a fresh character, and it seems like I have a 4-hour claim time. So, and it looks at this point I can claim one. I haven't done anything with the account yet. You can see that the listing over here, favor, engineering, damage, defense, stash size, crit chance, dodge, mine rate, attacks left, and luck. And it looks like 3 attacks left. And you can also go into explore and or battle. Pretty straightforward user interface. Let's go ahead and look at what Explore looks like. So Explore brings up a secondary screen, a child screen here, that indicates that there are 3 planets, which I briefly kind of went through in the white paper. I didn't read any details. So it looks like you open up planets overall over time. You need a ship and you need flux to travel to planets. So flux is your secondary type of cryptocurrency within the game. Contribute scrap to gain favor and unlock new planets. So we'll go ahead and go back. It's nice. I mean, it's nice to have. Oh, I completely bailed out of the game. I should have used the back arrow instead of just backing up my browser. So, yeah. Looks interesting. Like I said, I will be diving into this over the coming week or two. And I'm sure I'll be asking Crypto Gnome. He did volunteer, said, hey, if I have any questions, let him know. I did check out on Hive Engine. I was wanting to look at what their tokens were doing. Main token here, Scrap. As you can see, I mean, since early March, it's just dove down. So, I mean, I'm not going to judge a game by the price of its token, but that's something valid to talk about. It looks like 1 scrap is going for 0.149 Hive. And this morning Hive price was about 34 cents. So about 5 cents. So it looks like a scrap is going for about 5 cents, which is right around where a part is going for in Golem Overlord. So it remains to be seen as to how the tokenomics is working out. Usually what I've seen in other games is as more of the tokens get in the infrastructure, get out there, then the value goes down. So then the game really depends upon how much is burnt. I did want to note that the use of multiple accounts is allowed, and he doesn't make a statement as to if bots are allowed, but we all know that if there's a possibility of using a bot in one of these type of crypto games, there'll be somebody jumping on it, which just leads to draining value out of the infrastructure and not contributing anything. So I've got a question out to Crypto Gnome, and when he replies, I'll add it to another video as to what his stance on bots are, whether they're actively trying to keep them out of the game, what their uses are, or maybe the game is bot friendly. So I'll update that in a future video. This has been Bronze Dragon taking a look at a fresh game, Terracore. If you like this kind of content, give me a thumbs up and think about subscribing. I hope everyone is happy and healthy on your side. And if you want to start playing Terracore, please use my link in the comments, and I will see you on the flip side.